Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Thanks for joining us today. We're really excited about this episode because it's all about something every English learner wants to improve: listening skills.
That's right. Listening is often the first step in learning any language. You hear English before you speak it, read it, or write it. So if you want to speak naturally and confidently, you have to train your ears first.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Many learners say, I can read English, but I don't understand when people talk fast, or I get confused by native accents. If you've ever felt like that, don't worry. You're not alone.
In today's episode, we're going to help you fix that. We'll talk about why listening is the foundation of language learning, the most common problems learners face, a step-by-step plan to improve your listening, great tools and resources you can use every day. And finally, we'll give you a 7-day challenge to level up your listening skills starting today.
So grab your notebook, put on your headphones, and get ready to become a better English listener. Whether you're just starting out or want to move from beginner to fluent, this episode is for you.
Let's dive in. So, let's start with a big question. Why is listening so important in English learning? Why is it the foundation?
Good question, Jason. Listening is actually how we all start learning language. Even as babies, we hear sounds, words, rhythm, and tone long before we speak. It's how our brains begin to understand meaning and communication.
Exactly. You don't need to memorize grammar rules at the beginning. First, you need to get used to the music of the language, the flow, the pronunciation, the common phrases. That all comes from listening.
And here's something interesting. When you improve your listening, you also improve your speaking, pronunciation, and even your vocabulary.
Yeah, because when you hear real English in action, whether in a podcast, movie, or conversation, you learn how people really talk. You hear natural grammar, real pronunciation, and expressions that books don't always teach.
Right. Let me give you a quick example. In textbooks, you might read, I am going to the store. But when you listen to native speakers, it often sounds like I'm gonna go to the store. That's listening in real life. It teaches you what people really say.
Great example, Julia. So, in short, listening is not just a passive skill. It's a powerful tool that builds your entire English system. If you want to sound natural, feel confident, and understand others easily, you need to listen a lot.
Think of it this way. Listening is like the input. Speaking is the output. Without enough input, you won't have the right words or rhythm to express yourself well.
So if you're wondering where to start in your English journey, start by listening. And don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. Your brain is learning, even when it feels hard.
Exactly. And later in the episode, we'll show you how to make listening fun, easy, and something you can do every single day.
Stay with us. Next, we'll talk about the common problems learners face with English listening and how to fix them. All right, now that we understand why listening is so important, let's talk about the real struggles, the common problems learners face when trying to improve their listening skills.
Oh yes, this part is so important, because if you know the problems, you can find better solutions. So let's start with one of the biggest ones. Native speakers talk too fast.
That's true. Many learners say, I understand English in class or in slow videos, but when I watch a movie or talk to a native speaker, I get lost. Native English speakers connect words, use contractions, and speak with rhythm. It can sound like one long word.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, "What are you doing?" a native speaker might say, "Watch doing." That can be really confusing if you've only studied formal English.
Another common problem is accents. English is spoken all over the world. In the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and many other countries. Each region has different accents and slang.
Yes, someone might understand American movies but not British TV shows, or they might struggle with Australian pronunciation. That's normal, and it takes time to get used to different voices.
Here's another one. Trying to understand every single word. This slows you down and makes you frustrated. But in real conversations, you don't need to catch every word. You need to catch the main idea.
That's such an important point. A lot of learners panic if they miss one word, but even native speakers don't catch every word in a conversation. Focus on the meaning, not perfection.
Also, many learners say they don't know what to listen to. They feel stuck between beginner audio, which is too slow, and native content, which is too fast. So they give up.
Yes, finding the right level and the right topic is key. If you listen to something boring or too hard, your brain won't stay focused.
And the last problem, not listening often enough. Learning any skill needs repetition and consistency. If you only listen once a week, progress will be slow.
That's why we're here, to help you build a daily listening habit. We'll show you how in the next part.
Coming up next, our step-by-step plan to improve your English listening fast and naturally. Welcome back. Now that we've talked about the common problems, let's go into something really helpful. A step-by-step plan to improve your English listening.
Yes, this is for anyone who wants a clear roadmap. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate learner, this plan will help you become a strong listener. Let's go step by step. Step 1. Choose the right listening materials.
The first step is to choose listening materials that are just a little bit above your current level. Not too easy, not too hard. This is called the Goldilocks level. Just right.
And pick topics you enjoy. If you love sports, listen to English sports podcasts. If you enjoy cooking, watch recipe videos in English. When you enjoy the topic, your brain learns faster. Step 2. Start with slow listening, then increase the speed.
Begin with slow or clear English. There are great YouTube channels, apps, and podcasts designed for learners. Once you feel comfortable, try normal speed English.
And here's a tip. Most platforms like YouTube let you slow down or speed up the video. You can start at 0.75x speed and later listen at 1x or 1.25x to challenge yourself. Step 3. Use subtitles, but the smart way.
Subtitles are useful, but only if you use them wisely. First, watch with English subtitles. Then watch again without subtitles to test your ears.
Yes, don't rely on subtitles all the time. You want to train your brain to listen, not just read, and always use English subtitles, not your native language. Step 4. Repeat and shadow.
Now, here's a powerful method. Repetition and shadowing. Listen to the same audio more than once. Pause and repeat what you hear out loud, just like an actor.
That's called shadowing. You copy the speaker's words, pronunciation, and rhythm. It improves both your listening and speaking skills. Step 5. Write what you hear. Dictation.
Try this. Listen to a short clip, maybe 10 or 20 seconds, and write down what you hear. Then check the subtitles or transcript to see how accurate you were.
This exercise is great for improving detail listening. You'll notice small sounds, contractions, and grammar that you might usually miss. Step 6. Listen daily, even for 10 minutes.
The final step is consistency. Listen every day, even if it's just 10 minutes. Make it a habit. Listen while walking, cleaning, or traveling.
Yes. The more your ears hear English, the faster your brain will understand it naturally. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
So let's review the steps quickly. Choose the right material. Start slow, then go faster. Use English subtitles wisely. Repeat and shadow. Write what you hear. Listen daily.
That's the roadmap, and don't worry, we'll share examples and tools in the next sections to help you follow each step.
Coming up next, we'll talk about the difference between active and passive listening, and why both are important. All right, now let's talk about something that many learners don't think about, but it makes a big difference. Active listening versus passive listening.
Yes, both are useful, but they work in different ways. Let's break it down. Jason, want to explain what passive listening is?
Sure. Passive listening is when you play English audio in the background while doing something else, like cleaning your room, walking, or cooking. You're not fully focused, but your ears are still getting used to the sounds.
Exactly. It's like background music. You might not catch every word, but your brain is still hearing English rhythm, pronunciation, and common phrases. It's great for building familiarity.
Now, active listening is different. This is when you really focus. You sit down with your headphones, no distractions, and maybe even take notes. You try to understand the words, the meaning, and maybe pause and repeat.
Active listening helps you grow fast. You hear new vocabulary, notice grammar patterns, and train your ears to understand more details. It takes more energy, but it gives deeper results.
Let's give an example. Say you're watching a 5-minute video. Passive listening, Chotard's playing it while washing dishes. Active listening equals watching it with subtitles, pausing, repeating, and thinking about what's being said.
So which one should learners do? The answer is both.
Exactly. Passive listening is great for your daily routine. It gives you more exposure to English. But active listening should be part of your study time. Maybe 10 to 20 minutes a day.
That balance makes a big difference. Many learners only do one or the other, but doing both will train your ears faster and smarter.
Coming up next, we're going to share the best resources for practicing your listening, podcasts, YouTube channels, and more. Now that you know how to listen actively and passively, the next question is, what should you listen to? Let's talk about the best resources for mastering English listening.
Yes. The good news is there are so many options today. You don't have to use boring textbooks. You can learn English from fun and interesting content like podcasts, YouTube, and even your favorite movies. Podcasts.
Let's start with podcasts. They're a great way to improve listening, especially if you're on the go. And the best part? Many of them are made for English learners.
Some popular ones are The English We Speak by BBC Learning English, Short and Useful Expressions ESL Pod, great for slow and clear English, all ears English, focuses on conversation and real-life phrases, and of course our very own English Learning podcast.
Yes, podcasts help you hear different accents, learn new words, and get used to natural speech. YouTube channels.
Next up, YouTube. There are amazing channels that teach English in fun and visual ways.
Here are some favorites. English Class 101. They cover grammar, conversation, and listening practice. BBC Learning English, reliable and professional content. Speak English with Mr. Duncan. Very energetic and fun. VOA Learning English. Uses slow and clear pronunciation for learners.
And don't forget to subscribe to channels that cover topics you enjoy in English. For example, cooking, tech reviews, or travel vlogs, TV shows and movies.
Watching TV shows and movies in English is a fantastic way to train your ears. Start with subtitles, then try without them.
Some good shows to start with. Friends, simple, fun, and full of natural conversation. Modern Family, great humor and clear dialogue. Stranger Things, good for teens and young adults. The Crown. If you want a more British style of English,
And for movies, choose ones you already know in your language. Then watch them in English. That way, you understand the story and can focus on the language.
so whether it's podcasts, YouTube, or Netflix, use English in your free time. Turn fun into learning.
Exactly. And up next, we'll do a fun role play to show the difference between good and bad listening habits. Welcome back. Now let's make things fun. We're going to do a quick role play to show the difference between bad and good listening habits.
Yes, this will help our listeners understand what to avoid and what to do instead. Jason, are you ready?
Ready when you are. I'll play the part of a learner with bad listening habits, and then we'll switch to the good version. Let's go. Bad listening habits.
Acting as teacher or speaker. Today, we're going to talk about how to order food in a restaurant.
Pretending to be distracted. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I was texting my friend. Can you say that again?
Okay, when you enter the restaurant, the waiter might say, "How can I help you today?" You should reply,
They speak too fast. I don't get it. Forget it, I'll just read the subtitles later. And honestly, I don't like this topic anyway.
"Okay, pause there. Let's break this down." Jason was not focused, distracted by his phone, complaining about the speed, giving up easily, not interested in the content.
Yep. That's the fast lane to zero improvement. Now let's show the good habits. Good listening habits.
Today, we're going to talk about how to order food in a restaurant.
Pretending to be a good learner. Okay, I've got my notebook. I'll listen carefully. Let me write that down. How can I help you today? Got it.
You can say, "I'd like a table for two, please," or "Can I see the menu?"
Let me repeat after that. I'd like a table for two, please. Maybe I'll shadow this line a few times. Also, I'm hungry now.
Perfect. Jason was focused and ready, taking notes, repeating phrases, shadowing the audio, having fun with the topic.
That's how you turn any listening session into real learning. It's all about your attitude and attention.
So listeners, think about this. Are you using good habits or falling into bad ones? Small changes make a big difference.
Exactly. And now that you know how to listen the right way, it's time to learn how to practice in real life, even if you live in a non-English speaking country.
That's coming up next.
So far, we've talked about habits, resources, and the right mindset. But now, let's get into something many learners ask. How can I practice English listening in real life, especially if I live in a non-English speaking country?
Great question. The truth is, you don't need to live in the UK or the US to practice listening. You can create your own English world right where you are. Let's share some smart strategies. 1. Surround yourself with English daily.
Start by filling your day with English. Set your phone, apps, and even your GPS to English.